I'm going to give this a minute before I get started. I want to make sure I'm live everywhere before we get started here, because we're going to be talking about using AI to create presentations. And I think it takes a minute for it to catch up with my LinkedIn and with my YouTube. So giving this a second as I do this. Make sure everything, there we go. So we're starting off on, looks like our LinkedIn is good. Let me check my YouTube to make sure that's running, and then we can get started. So I have a lot of things going on. I have a lot of things happening as usual. So I am using Chachi. Let me mute my laptop. You guys don't hear me in echo there. So we are live on TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So hopefully I'll be able to see the chat on all of these. I'm gonna move my computer around, and I have my TikTokers on a tripod. So this is gonna be super interesting for me to. I want to make sure I can get to the chat on all of these. So give me a second. Oh, here it goes. Top chat. Let's see live chat. There, that's what we want. So I'm going to be able to see the live chat on everything. And I'm like leaning over because I have one big screen and my computer is like in the way also. Okay, so we're good to go. So happy Saturday, everyone. Hi, Betty. Hi to everyone on YouTube and hi to everyone on TikTok. So today we're going to be talking about using ChatGPT to create presentations, like PowerPoint presentations. I'm going to give you a perfect use case for this. So I just came back from a conference in New Orleans. It was a tech conference. And in that conference, I had a session where I helped people go through like an end-to-end process of creating a training video. And we created a short video. We used ChatGPT and we used DXE, which is an AI video generator, to create a video. So on screen right here, I have a script that we generated. And in this script, I just want you guys to see. Let me share my screen because only my TikTok people can see my screen right now. So give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. And let me share my window. Let me see which window I'm going to share. We're going to share over here. Okay. And I'm going to actually do my entire screen just so I don't have to jump back and forth. Okay. So now you guys should be able to see on LinkedIn and on YouTube. You guys should be able to see my screen in a few seconds. Here we go. There you go. So this was a script that we generated for when we were in my session. You can see it. So we wrote a script for video. I said YouTube, and we used the voice of Bugs Bunny for this. So one thing that a lot of people don't know is that when you're creating your prompts, you can actually tell ChatGPT what tone of voice you want to use for your whatever it is that you're doing. And in this case, we told it like, listen, we want to generate a script, and then we want you to learn Bugs Bunny. So that was a lot of fun because then we threw that into the ID and the avatar had to read it like Bugs Bunny. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create a presentation. So I'm going to go and I'm going to show you. So this is a prompt that I created for, or like a job aid I created for my session on using ChatGPT as a learning tool. I showed this in my last live where you can use ChatGPT as a coach to help you do some deliberate practice. And this was some instructions that I provided, and you can download it. And this was a prompt that I used. But what if we could take this, right, this thing I wrote right here, and what if we could create like a PowerPoint slide so then we could do like a full presentation based on this, right? So, and if you don't know, like you can create presentations in PowerPoint and then export them as PDFs and put them up like on LinkedIn. And it does like that slideshow thing that you see a lot of people posting because they get the slideshow to be a PDF. And you just need to be able to format it well. You can also use it for TikTok videos where you can have some cool animations and explainer videos. that you can create using slides without having to show your face. 'Cause I know a lot of people don't want to show their face on TikTok and they just want to show their content. So you could create slides that you can run through. You can set the aspect ratio so it's portrait, so that you put all your information on there, add some animations, use some GPT like generators to create like some animations, like videos and pictures and stuff like that. Let's take this thing and I'm going to show you a few things and how you can create your PowerPoint. So the first thing is Microsoft Office. So I actually copied my file over from Google Docs, which is where I created it. So this is Google Docs. And in Google Docs, I do have GPT integrated into it automatically. And I can show you how to do that later. But what I did is I copied over the script into Google Docs here. I'm sorry, into Word. From Google Docs into Microsoft Word. I'm using OneDrive because I don't have it installed on this computer, like Office on this computer. So I always use the web version. And then what I did is I removed the images. So that's for the first thing. So what I did is I went in here. So this has images. This is an image, and there's some images down here. So I copied it into Word and I removed the images. I still have the images right somewhere else, and I can use them in my presentation, and I can add them later. But in order to do an automatic generation from like Word into PowerPoint, you can't have images. So let's say, okay, so let's say I generated this with ChatGPT, which I did, and I actually wrote this one. But we're going to create one from scratch with ChatGPT. But I just want to show you what you have to do is once you bring your text in or once you have your text, you need to use styles. So you need to use headers because each of your heading styles becomes the header on your slide. Okay. So let's create a new doc here. We're going to go from scratch. And I'm trying to do this in 30 minutes. So I'm going to create a new Word doc. Let's see, blank one. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to show you two things. So one is I have already in my tools, I use Jasper AI as an extension. Jasper AI is similar to ChatGPT and that you can generate directly in here. And you don't have to go to ChatGPT to generate. But we're going to go and do it the old way. We're going to go to ChatGPT. And I'm not saying the old way because it's not really old, guys. I'm just being facetious here, right? So we're gonna go to ChatGPT, and I did played around with this. So have you guys played around with the OpenAI playground? I'm just curious if you have. You can put it in chat. I'm gonna see if I can see my YouTube chat. I can't see my YouTube chat, guys. So hopefully, I'm gonna try to scroll down and see. Okay, no one's chatting on YouTube. So, but on LinkedIn, have you guys used the ChatGPT or sorry, the OpenAI playground, or even on TikTok? Have you guys used the OpenAI playground? Yes or no? All right, so I can show you the playground, but the playground actually has settings that you can play around with, right? And so I thought it'd be a cool idea to create something around the settings for OpenAI. Before I do that, I had OpenAI, sorry, ChatGPT generate for me. But let's go into OpenAI really quick. I'm going to show you. Here, OpenAI. I can't even type today. It's Saturday. I'm done. Okay, so you go to openai.com and you click on API, and then you sign up. It's free to sign up, so it's free to use this. You get a certain amount of credits for the month, free, but then you do have to pay. I put $100 in here, and I've had it for like 3 months. I think I've used like 17 cents, and I can show you guys that. And I use this a ton. So I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna log in. Log in. Okay. So this is OpenAI, and you get to the playground up here by clicking on playground. And when you get in here, it looks a little bit different than ChatGPT. You can get to ChatGPT from here, but you'll notice that over here, I make this bigger for all my blind people like me. Okay, so on here you have the different modes that you can use. There's some models. There's a few models you can use. There's the temperature, and it controls like randomness. And you can control your cost by controlling the amount of randomness of the different video, maximum length, stop sequences, top P frequency. So you can adjust all of these settings to get like the best results from this. And it works just like ChatGPT, just better. And I'm gonna tell you that off the top. I do like the results I get, Playground better than the results I get in ChatGPT sometimes. So when you're, going through this, you can either use, the Playground or ChatGPT to do this. But I'm gonna tell you, so, like, I was thinking, like, what if we created a presentation where we helped people understand, like, how do all the settings work in this Playground. So if you go to OpenAI, I have one here already, but we're gonna create a new one. And I'm gonna tell so the prompt. So let's talk about prompting. So the way you write your prompt is really important because that's gonna really determine how you the type of response you get. I also want you guys to know that my view may look a little bit different than you guys because um, ChatGPT, they launched the paid model, and so, in the paid model, this is the paid model, is ChatGPT Plus. When you open it, you may not have the Plus if you don't have the paid model, which is fine, you don't need to pay for it. I just like to, look at all the features and experiment because I do a lot of writing about this stuff also. But if you look at the models here, you get 2 different models. You get the standard, which is the one that everyone uses, and you get the turbo, which is just optimized for speed. I'm gonna keep it on standard because this is what all of you would be using, and you unless you have the paid version, you wouldn't be using the turbo, and so I just want to ensure that I give you the same experience that you would have. I don't want you to see a different experience and then be like, "Myra, you suck. You hate like, I can't see everything that you see," right? So let's do this. So we're gonna, have ChatGPT create a presentation for us. I've been working in proposals all day. So what I'm gonna tell it is and just look at the way that I write my prompts. So I'm gonna say, I'm creating a presentation for a conference session on, using the OpenAI playground, right? I want to, um, talk about the settings that are available. I can't talk, type. I can't talk either today. Type or talk. Okay. So I'm telling you what I want to talk about. So I'm telling it like what is it that I'm trying to do, and then what I want to talk about. And then I'm going to say, okay, you are my content writer. Period. So I'm telling you what role it's going to play. Um, I want you to generate a presentation outline with um, descriptions for each to be covered. Okay, so I'm not going to talk for because I can't talk and type. So give me a second. So I wanted to treat each OpenAI setting as a separate topic, and then I'm going to tell it what tone of voice I want it to use. So I'm going to tell it use the tone of voice of um, guys. Give me a tone of voice, guys. Someone in the chat on either one who wants to give me a tone of voice that we want this to be in. I've done Homer Simpson, I've done Bugs Bunny, I've done, Frida Kahlo, I've done Adam Grant, um, but give me a tone of voice that we should use for this. I'm gonna wait and see who, provides me with a tone of voice. Anyone? I'm looking at my TikTok, so if you see me just looking sideways, it's because 'cause I'm looking at my phone at my, TikTok setting also. So anyone in the discussion wanna give me a tone of voice? I'm trying to look at different, how about we say the Kool-Aid guy? And I want it to be quirky, funny, and witty. Also, share a dad joke every now and then. This is part of my presentation, and I just want you guys to like, okay, so it's going to generate this presentation with the outline. And let's see how it goes about how it's gonna kind of address this, right? So it's giving me the topics. So what it's really doing is it's providing the outline, and it's giving me kind of like the subtopics I need to talk about. And I asked it to provide to treat each of the settings in the playground as a separate um, slide. And so notice it's ending with a dad joke on every point, which is amazing. Like, why was the math book sad? Because it had too many problems. Boom, boom. That's just as bad as my regular jokes. Um, why did the cookie go to the doctor? Because it felt crumbly. I mean, I don't know. This is how I do my presentations on a regular basis anyway. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. Okay, so now we have our outline for our presentation, right? So we're not gonna do the entire thing for a PowerPoint, but we're gonna select one, right? So let's say, we want it to expand on the model selection, right? So I'm gonna say, actually, let's do the temperature. I'm sorry. I want you to generate, um the presentation content that would could um, deliver for the temperature um, slide based on the talking points that you provided. Um, use the voice of Homer Simpson. It's because he's funny. And go. Let's see what it does. And this is exactly how I really feel like I deliver all of my presentations in the tone of voice of Homer Simpson when I do conference presentation. Um, I yeah, because 'cause I'm full of ums and ums, and it starts off with an AI temperature. Okay, so this is the presentation that it's gonna give us that we're gonna use, right? So it gave us the talking points for it. So it says, AI temperature, let's talk about that. The temperature and AI language refers to the randomness. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, we saw a keynote, during this conference I was at, and he created his entire keynote on, ChatGPT, and it was the most boring thing I have ever seen in my whole life. And I'm not gonna apologize for it 'cause it sucked. So, you can actually if you're gonna use ChatGPT to create your presentations, be sure to tell it what tone of voice you want it to use. Do you want it to be professional? Do you want it to be quirky? Do you want it to be formal? Like, you can inject that into your prompts when you are creating your content, okay? So what we're gonna do now is let's say we're gonna use this. So I'm gonna copy we're only gonna copy a few over. So let's copy this over, just the temperature part, right? And we're gonna copy that to Word doc. And we have the Word doc right here. I'm gonna paste it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this up because remember I told you the tags are important. So or the styles are important. So I'm gonna use the heading 1. So then this becomes a slide, right? And let's bring in a few more. I lied. Let's bring in a few more because we wanna create a few slides. So then let's create this and this. Okay. Boop. I'm gonna put that in here, wrong place. Boop boop. And then we're gonna take out the numbers and we're just gonna change these guys to headings. We use heading 1, right? And then we're gonna create like an opener for this. So let's do overview. Can't type. Okay. So then, okay, cool beans down here. This is going to go just a regular paragraph, normal. I'm going to tell ChatGPT, write, write an intro. Oh, my mouse stopped working. Okay. Okay. I don't know why my mouse has been doing that. Let's refresh this. I think I have all my settings. I have way too many plugins. Um, so let's do this. Let's just use. I didn't ask it to create a. Okay, let's use this. Um, we're gonna just use this as our intro here. But this is a pretend presentation, so don't knock me for this. Okay, so now I have all of this. Now we need Microsoft to work, and I'm going to tell you it's going to fail. It's going to fail, and then I'm going to show you um, what it really looks like. So we're going to go into, so remember, I'm in Microsoft Office online, the OneDrive version. And then if you have the Windows version, it works. It does not work in Mac right now. This feature, at least as far as I know, but you're going to go to export. And when you go to export, you have two options. You can either export as a web page, or you can export to a PowerPoint presentation. And let's see if this is going to work because it wasn't working before. I think it gets bogged down. Oh, look at that. It's working. Okay. So you get to pick from, it gives you like a few different options. You can ask it for more themes, but it always hangs up on mine. I think it's just because it doesn't like Mac. But look at that. It didn't this time. So you can actually select, I'm going to select this one. All right. I didn't give my document a name, so it has it as document 3, which is fine for right now. But what it's going to do is going to summarize your content, and it's using AI for this. It is not using GPT yet in Word. They haven't integrated it just yet. But what it does is, man, it takes your content and it creates um, a PowerPoint for you automatically. It's based on what you put in your Word doc. It is still using AI, and you can play around with like, what do you want it to look like? And if you don't like the theme, I found that I actually need to go back and I need to recreate it. So let me show you. Let's go to PowerPoint. So I want to show you a few that I've done just because I know it's not going to work. So let's look at the ChatGPT one. So this is for this tool that I created, this the ChatGPT as a learning tool. So I generated it using that specific Word doc, and it created this, which I thought it did a decent job. But let's go back because I have another one that looked even better than that one, which I thought did a great job. As you can see, I have a ton of crap in here. Okay, let's try this one. So this one, I like this one a lot because I do like the kind of graphics it created. It selected these graphics automatically for it. I like that it used like the questions in the prompt. It's just that when you generate the presentation, you have to select from like the designs that it presents to you. And because I'm using the web-based version of it, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if it's like because it knows I'm on a Mac or otherwise, but it did a really good job of creating this presentation. I mean, and let me just tell you, people create shitty PowerPoints all the time. So this is better than the shittiest PowerPoint I've seen. And just remember, like, your PowerPoint is not the presentation, you are the presentation. And so you want to make sure that your content is on point, right? So that's why I think writing the content out is really important. So let's think about different industries that use this. Think about someone who's marketing a product. Think about someone who's creating some kind of training, like an instructional designer. Think about someone who's trying to sell a product or market a product. Being able to create an outline in Word, right, where you have all of your thoughts, and then having it go and create an automatic presentation. That that to me is killer, right? Because it gave you a base. Like, it doesn't mean that and this is the thing, guys, like, it doesn't mean that just because it created this presentation for you that you're not gonna go in and edit it, right? Like, you need to go in and you need to edit this so then, you can work with it, right? So then you're putting in your voice, but let me just tell you, this shit just shaved, like, I don't know, an hour off of my workflow because I didn't look for graphics. I didn't have to think about, like, the look and feel. I didn't have to think about anything else. Now, if your company has specific branding, just use the one um, without the graphics. So just show you. So I'm gonna go over here, do file, oops, do file export. And we're gonna export to presentation. Hopefully it works again. Like I'm telling you, this is like a finicky child. Let's see if it gives us some options. It does have a blank option where it doesn't have any graphics on it, so it just puts the words into the PowerPoint, and then you can apply a template to it. But at least what it does is it summarizes your content in a way that you can then create the presentation. And I'm telling you, Murphy's Law, this does not work when I need it to work. So let me cancel out of that. I'll refresh. So I want you to take notice. Also, like I said, I have too many AI plugins right now, and I think that creates a conflict. Let me just show you. So here, so we're talking about so use this one. This one has no graphics in it. And let's say your company has a specific brand or you have a specific brand for your company or your products or whatever it is you want. You can go in and still generate slides without having to use the graphic portion of it. And I think this is a game changer. This feature has actually been around for a year. I'm not sure when it like, pitched it or talked about it. But you'll see that what it does is it summarizes the content into slides, and then you can go over here as slide designer, you can be like, "I'm gonna use this design here, throw that on there," right? And then as you go, you can just decide, do you wanna use your own business, kind of slide like, templates, or you're gonna use, like, a built-in template, or, do you wanna use a slide designer? And you can just take it from here and just, like, create some cool looking PowerPoints with little effort. I hate looking for PowerPoint graphics, I can't begin to tell you that. And so, uh, yeah, it's amazing. So Anit said, she asked ChatGPT to write a script for a promotional video for a conference presentation in style of Mission Impossible movie. Yeah, I bet you that came out amazing. Just because, it's really powerful, and there's so many different use cases. Now, I've been asked, like, "Are you gonna create a course that we can sit down and attend it?" 'Cause I just have, like, a bag full of tricks for you guys with ChatGPT. And so I'm just gonna show you really quick. So I use other tools beyond ChatGPT. That's why you see all these little bells and whistles and crap on my screen. But this little guy here, this is Jasper. And so let me go to the bottom of this doc. I don't want to screw up this doc. Let's go down here. I'm gonna use Jasper down here, and I'm gonna tell it I want it to let's see, I don't know if it's gonna do it. So let's do a one-shot blog post in here. And, let's say, uh, top 5 I don't know why I keep on getting the blue box, and it keeps on screwing me up. Top This is not like I think I put a quick button on my space bar, that won't work. Let's do this. Let's go with what was in there. Let me go back. Okay. I told it to be quirky, funny, creative. My target's instructional designers. Let's generate the output. What it's gonna do is gonna create a blog post that I can then copy and paste into my Word doc. And it's gonna give me 3 different outputs to choose from. It takes a little bit longer because it's a one-shot blog post, but this is great for people who have to create, like, marketing content and for people who are, have to write blog posts on a regular. So here's like 5 skills to master for instructional design success. That's the entire prompt it wrote. Let me see if I can pull this up. Figures. Let's do that again because I made it go away. Generate. It should be. Hopefully, it'll be faster now. And so this is like, and think about like using Jasper and ChatGPT as a thinking out loud kind of tool or working out loud tool where we all have ideas, right, for creating different content, for creating presentations. I did a session on like using it to generate data for like research. So this is one blog. It gave me 3 options. The other one, and this is the other one. You can read through it, decide which one you want. Let's say I wanted the second one. I would then go in here and I would copy. You can't copy it, like you can't just paste it into, you have to do a copy and paste because it doesn't have the option to like copy right in here, or you can have it open in Jasper. So what I'll do is I copied it and paste it in here. Boom. And there's my blog post. Imagine being it, and this works like if you are a WordPress user or use any of the um, blog tools. I have Jasper AI as a plugin into my Chrome. It's a Chrome extension, so it's just a plugin, and I can use it anywhere I want, on the web. And let's see what other one do I have that I can share. I also have it embedded into ChatGPT, embedded into my Google Docs. I use it for Google Docs and for what do you call that? Spreadsheets also. And Google, the Office Google. So I have that where Microsoft is still like thinking about it. I already have it in my Google Drive until Microsoft figures their nonsense out. Because they invested like 40 billion dollars or something like that, and they still haven't integrated it into their platform where I have a plugin and I just sign in and I can use it here. And let me just show you that one. What's the end of this doc? So I have it as an extension. It's GPT for Sheets and Docs, and you have to launch it every time. And in Google Docs, it launches as a sidebar. You can notice that it's just like the GPT um, playground because you have the model that you can pick. You have the temperature, the tokens, the max paragraphs, and the maximum input tokens. And you generate here. Telling it to generate, 5 ideas for a blog post. There it goes. And that one does automatically put it into my document, into my Google Doc, whereas with Jasper, you have to copy and paste it in. So you can play around with the different options for this. But yeah, so we went through a lot. Like I went through more than just creating a presentation. Um, Game changer, creating a presentation automatically. Um, but I have some additional things that I can help you um, kind of just work this into your workflow to automate things. Remember, ChatGPT is just a chatbot. OpenAI has more tools that will allow you to like really automate a lot of things. ChatGPT is fun, right? Because you can generate content, and content is king, but data is empress right now. So I really feel that if you can use this to generate data and analyze data, it's a lot more powerful than I don't know, creating a PowerPoint slide. This is a time saver. Uh, and I'm not going to tell you, you can make $5,000 in a month by creating presentations using ChatGPT. I will not tell you that because I think that's bullshit. There's more to it than just creating a PowerPoint slide. But what I will tell you is that it can speed up your process, right? So it can automate some of your process. In my session, I shared how you can use it to create, where I was working with instructional designers, you can create learning objectives, course outlines, create lessons from it, in a short period of time, but you do have to have the idea of what it is that you want to do. And you need to be able to use the chain of thought prompting. So as you think, your chain of thought prompting is like the thought process that you go through to create things. You would put that into ChatGPT to help it understand what you're trying to do. So that's it, guys. We are a little over time. I wanted to keep this at 30 minutes. So I hope that you found this super useful. And yeah, leave me some comments. If reach out to me, you can connect with me on TikTok, on LinkedIn. I am still on Twitter because I use that for my get the tea on everything. Drama there all the time. But yeah, so I'm thinking about putting a course together to do end to end. It would be, I'm trying to keep it to either a full 1 day course. I don't want to make it more than that. But I'm thinking something hands-on where we'll generate a bunch of stuff and create a portfolio, but also help you understand nuts, soup to nuts on everything on using this. So, hi, Cass. Yeah, this will be, just one way that you can use this. And so, love to see what you're working on. Would love to see what you're doing, what challenges you're dealing with, what problems you're solving. And yeah, let's connect. All right, everyone, have a great Saturday. Bye. All right, so I'm gonna end this in order. So now I have to end all of this. So give me a second because now you guys are going to see me trying to struggle to end this. Okay. Bye, guys. Yeah, nothing's going to end right now. So you're stuck with me until I can end this.